Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Holdens Take podcast. This is the first episode of my new podcast, Holdens Take. Uh, I'm currently recording this at 8 p.m. on New Year's Eve 2018. So, whenever you may be listening to this, I hope I find you well. I'm going to be talking about the college football playoffs, Clemson versus Bama. I'm going to be talking about the NFL playoffs today. I'm going to be talking about a certain NFL team. And at the end, I'm going to be talking about just what I'm looking at in the future here for my channel and growth and everything like that. So let's get started. Also, I apologize if this podcast is a little bit short today. I wanted just to get one out. I was excited about doing it, but hopefully in the future I'd like them to be around 30 to 40 minutes, maybe up to an hour one day. But just starting out, let's just get our feet wet. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so the college football national championship is coming up. Clemson versus Alabama. Pretty sure this is the third time in the last 4 years they've met. This is probably the best Alabama and best Clemson team Dabo Swinney and Nick Saban have put together recruiting wise. Um, Trevor Lawrence is one hell of a quarterback. I love him. I've been following him since the Elite 11 when he was in high school and he was working out with Trenton Dilfer. Tua Tagovailoa, I love him, man. Okay, I think he's going to be an NFL quarterback one day. When I say NFL quarterback, I'm not talking about, a bench quarterback, not an average quarterback. I think this kid's going to be a great quarterback. I wouldn't say all-time great, and I don't know if I'd go as far as to say Hall of Famer just yet, but I do love this kid a lot. I think this is going to be a shootout. I do think Bama will pull away at one point. I think the final score will be Alabama. I'll say 38 or 35, right around that area. And I think Clemson will maybe get 31, 28 maybe. But I think this will be one of the best national championship games ever. And I'm really looking forward to it. All right, NFL playoffs. Regular season just ended. My Cowboys beat the Giants 36-35. Great meaningless game, but it meant a lot also. So, wild card games. We got the Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks this Saturday. They're the nighttime game, the 8 o'clock game. It's going to be a great day for me. I'm going to the UVA game that night, ACC opener. And then I'll come home, watch the Cowboys game. So, hopefully the Cowboys can... and UVA make me happy that Saturday. I think the Cowboys will win, but I had a hard time saying that because I'm nervous for the Cowboys because it depends on what team shows up today. That Saturday. If it's the Cowboys who played the Saints on that Thursday night, I think the Cowboys will whoop the Seahawks. But if it's the Cowboys that played the Colts, oh, man, it's going to be horrible. The Seahawks are going to win. I'm a little scared of the Seahawks. If I'm being honest, they've been playing great football lately, but they've been struggling on the road. And this is going to be at Jerry World. It's going to be loud. They're going to have all the white towels and everything. You know the deal. But I do think the Cowboys will win. Bears and Eagles, I had a really hard time today when I was making my lists and writing down notes. I had a hard time picking this game because I think the Philadelphia Eagles, with Nick Foles, St. Nicholas, whatever you want to call him, shout out to Mackenzie, who loves Philadelphia Eagles. Hope you're listening to this one day, maybe. I think I'm going to say the Bears are going to win this game, but just because of their defense. I love Mitchell Trubisky, and I love their offense. I love Tariq Cohen. He really helped me in fantasy this year. But I do like the Bears in this game, but I think mainly it's the defense. The Monsters of Midway, Khalil Mack's a straight beast. I thought he was going to win Defensive Player of the Year, but Aaron Donald's just straight monster. Pretty sure 15 sacks. But I will say this. If the Eagles do win this game, I think they could go to the Super Bowl. That sounds crazy, I know, but I do think they could do it. Ravens and Chargers. This was another hard game for me, okay? The Ravens already beat them once, but I have to go with the Chargers because it's Lamar Jackson's first playoff game. I think it might be at home or on the road. I think it might be at home, actually. If it isn't, I'm very sorry. But I love Lamar Jackson. Loved him at Louisville. He's a rookie quarterback going in the playoffs. I think the Chargers will win it. Texans and Colts. I know the Texans won the division, but I think the Colts are the better team. Andrew Luck is looking amazing. That line is looking amazing. T.Y. Hilton looks good. That defense is actually looking good for once. All right, let's go to the divisional round. We have the Cowboys and the Saints. Oh, man, this is where my Cowboys end. We're going to lose. I think we're going to lose against the Saints. As much as I would love to say the Cowboys win it, I think the Saints will. It's going to be at the Superdome, I think it's called. I'm pretty sure it's Superdome. It's going to be a revenge game for the New Orleans Saints. That Thursday night game, the Saints just looked awful. They really did. Drew Brees didn't look good. Nobody on the Saints looked good. I think the Saints will win. Rams and Bears. I have the Bears winning this game, actually. I know the Bears already beat the Rams once this year, but I think they could do it again. They held Todd Gurley to only 28 points. This game would be in Los Angeles, but I do think the Bears would win this game. I do love the Rams. I love Jared Goff. I love Sean McVay, Cooks, Gurley. The offense is amazing. I'd love to have that offense on the Cowboys, but unfortunately we don't. Turn over to the AFC. We got Chiefs and Chargers. These playoffs are really interesting. I'm stuck with almost every game. I'm gonna have to go with the Chiefs. You know what? I'm going off script. I think the Chargers will win. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they've been slowing down a little bit. They've been winning the games though, but they look sluggish to me. That defense is really suspect. You need a defense to win championships. And I mean Patrick Mahomes, I love him. MVP quarterback this year. I think he'll win it, but he's getting tired. I think he's gonna be getting tired. Colts and Patriots. If this is a matchup next year, I would take the Colts, but this year I'm going to have to go with the Patriots. I have a love-hate relationship with Tom Brady. Amazing quarterback, but just, God, can't stand him. Being a Foxborough, home field advantage, and they're amazing in the playoffs at home. Saints and Bears. Have the Saints winning this game. They have, and the reason why I say this is because the Saints have a really good offense and the Bears have a really good defense. The Bears' offense is good, but the Saints' defense is just a little bit better than their offense. And I know that doesn't make sense, but here's what I'm trying to say. The Saints' defense is good, but it's not great. But it can make those stops when you need them. And I think that's really what it's going to come down to for the Saints. Is their defense, can their defense make stops? Because I have no problem with their offense. It's one of the best offenses, top top 20 running backs. So their offense is not a problem for me. It's their defense. AFC Championship game, we got Chargers and Patriots. Man. I'm going off script here. So I originally have the Chiefs and Patriots down, but I'm going to have to go with... Man, this is hard. I'm going to go with the Chargers, actually. I have the Patriots in the Super Bowl with the Saints, but I'm going to have to change that, and I'm going to go with the Chargers. Their defense, this is one of the best teams that Phillip Rivers has ever had surrounding him. And they have a really good offense, and the Patriots' defense, this is probably one of the worst defenses Belichick has had. I hate to say that. I love Belichick, and I also don't like him. Same thing goes with Brady. Love-hate relationship with them. But Chargers defense is the real deal. They have really good players. Joey Bosa, one of my favorite defensive players. So that means Super Bowl will be Saints and Chargers in my predictions, and I have the Saints winning it. I think Drew Brees will win his second Super Bowl, and Ryan. And I'll say he probably has about 2-3 more years left in him. But I think this will be his second Super Bowl win and his last as well. Now, the other day I made a post, this morning or late last night. Let me talk about the Minnesota Vikings real quick before we end this podcast. How do you go from the NFC Championship all the way to not making the playoffs? I thought they needed a new quarterback to get them over the edge. Apparently I was wrong, because I think they would have been fine with Case Keenum this year. You go out and pay $84 million, guaranteed, mind you, to Kirk Cousins, one of the most average quarterbacks ever, who also, his numbers in prime time games are god awful. Oh my lord, they're so bad. Lots of losses, barely any wins. He can't play in this big spotlight. I mean, what an embarrassment. I mean, seriously, you have a very good team this year on the books, but on that field, they looked horrible. I mean, when he was with the Washington Redskins, they were about the most average team ever. And same thing happened this year with the Vikings. They looked average as all get out. I'm going to be done for today slamming the Vikings. I've been doing it all day. Before we get out of here, I'd like to talk about the future of Holden's Take. I'd like to get into college basketball more, talking about it. I don't know when I'd start talking about it. I know the season's already here, but I do need to look into other conferences. I'm interested in the big conferences like the ACC, SEC, but, coming from UVA fan, I really just pay attention to the ACC. So if I want to talk more about college basketball, I need to look at these other conferences. I don't know if I'll talk about them this year. I'd like to, but I don't know. I will be doing a lot more NBA coverage coming up. I've always been this way. When the NFL season's on, I don't pay attention to the NBA. Which is honestly kind of funny, because I love basketball. That's my favorite sport, but I don't pay attention to it when the NFL's on. But once the NFL's done, the season's over, Super Bowl's over, I will be talking about all 32 NFL teams and what they need to be done in the offseason, what could they improve on, maybe moves they should do, possible players they should draft. But once the NBA starts, I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. Basketball is my favorite sport, like I said, and that is about all I had to talk about today. I plan to hopefully get this video edited tonight and get it out before the ball drops and it turns to be 2019. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm out.